Hey everybody, Freddy here with another video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is FreddyDubon. I am a principal Azure technical specialist for Microsoft. However, this video is not sponsored or endorsed by Microsoft. This is just my own desire to make these videos because I love teaching. I've been teaching for many years. So I hope you enjoy this series. Today we're going to start a series in observability, which includes in the realm of Azure, which includes Azure Monitor, Azure Insights. We're going to go through a bunch of different things about Insights, which is VM Insights, AKS Insights. There's a lot of different insights that we're going to go through, which means that we're not going to make it into one video. It's going to be broken down into many videos. So this is the beginning of that series. I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. If for some reason you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me a lot, and it also encourages me to continue making these videos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start talking about observability. And of course, I said that we're going to focus on observability in Azure. However, we don't need to start with Azure. We can say observability as a whole. What is observability? The definition of observability is the ability to understand the behavior of a system based on its input and outputs. It helps IT professionals gain insight into the system performance, the availability, the reliability. It's a little bit broader. A lot of people think that when you think about observability, you're thinking about monitoring. However, monitoring is one aspect of observability. Observability goes beyond that. Observability is typically a way that you can see how the application is running and you can see how things are moving. There's a lot of different moving parts. There's a lot of different things now that we get into the microservices, as we'll see in a minute. You have to monitor, you have to be able to see the inside of that application. So when we look at observability, it's something that is very crucial in the IT industry because this is how you are able to resolve issues faster. This is how you're able to make your system faster as far as the performance is concerned. And it also helps you with the customer satisfaction. Imagine you have an application that is running, you have an application that is serving your customers. And all of a sudden that application goes down and you have no idea why it went down. This is the problem, because now your company is going to be losing a lot of money. You're going to be losing a lot of sleep because now you have to figure out how to bring it back up. Typically, applications don't go down in the middle of the day. Typically, they go down in the middle of the night, which means now you need to be awake for the whole night trying to fix the application, trying to figure out what went wrong. So what are the benefits of observability? Well, it gives you real-time insight into the performance of the system, which helps you and enables you to actively identify and resolve the issues before they become a problem to your customers. So it's very important. So when we look at observability, we're going to go back a little bit in history, which not too long ago in history, because in some of the architectures that are still in use by some companies is something called the Monolithic Architecture. This is where an application is all tied together. So the user interface, the business logic, the data access layer, everything is tied into one application. So this application is usually referred to as a monolithic architecture. It's a little bit of a legacy application because it's a lot of companies are trying to move away from this system because there's a lot of pros, but there's a lot of cons as well with this type of application. Because if you make changes to one area, typically it may affect other areas because it's highly integrated into one application, one area. So what is the benefit of this? Well, the benefit is that you have everything in one place. But the problem is that everything is being shared. So anything that goes down, the whole thing is going to go down. So you have a shopping cart, you have pretty much a payment system. If you make changes to any of that, the whole application may go down as well. So what is the alternative? The alternative is a microservices architecture. A microservices architecture is an architecture that is broken down into little pieces so that you're able to provide services to the customer. Not only when you make a change to one area, you're not affecting other areas. The databases are also separate, so everything is separate. This is all what we consider a microservice architecture. This provides another level of challenge because now you have different services that need to be monitored. In a monolithic architecture, everything is in one application. Now, when you look at a microservice architecture, now you have a microservice that is maybe one of the microservices could be the payment system. The payment system that is integrated with a microservice that is the order, and then another microservice that is the shopping cart. There's another microservice that is a connection to the database. There's another microservice that is doing the user experience or what the customer sees on the screen. So there's a lot of little pieces. The benefit of this is that now when you make changes to one area, other areas may not be affected. Now, from the observability point of view, this is another challenge because now you have to monitor and be able to trace the different interactions of services. So, for example, if the shopping cart and the payment system, you need to understand how fast that transaction went from one place to another place. So how do you make changes in the two different architectures? Again, when you look at the monolithic architecture, it's something that is considered or is referred to as release management or release engineering, which is a system that you use where you have to release the new updates to the database or to the application itself. And this is how you deploy new updates to the application. In a microservice architecture, typically people could say that is continuous integration and delivery method. However, in the monolithic architecture, there is also something that is called continuous integration and delivery method. But in the microservice architecture, it seems to be a little bit easier to understand. What that means, this continuous integration and delivery method, is that there is a system where you go in, you write the code, then you build the code, then you test it, then you release it, and then you deploy it, and then you operate it, and you monitor to see if that application is doing well, and then you go back and then it goes and you do it again. So this is the way that you do what is called CICD, or what the continuous integration, which is the way that a microservice application is typically deployed in the environment. Again, this is a way to deploy the application, and typically is the way to do it. And as you can see, monitor is one of the areas. When I say monitor here, it's not really referring to monitoring in the realm of observability, but monitor to see if the application is performing the way that it is supposed to be performing. It could either be as far as the user experience, could be related to performance, how fast the application is answering the request from a customer. So there's a lot of little details here when we talk about monitor. So this is observability from the point of view of CICD. So those are some of the things that you need to understand when you look at observability. And how do we achieve observability? Well, we got to collect data. It's all based on data, and typically it has to do with logs, metrics, and traces. And we're going to go into those a little bit more in the next section. And then we need to analyze and visualize this data. And then we need to use tools and techniques to be able to tweak the application so that we can achieve observability, to be able to figure out how to make the application work better. This is section 1 of the observability series. Please move on to the next video where we're going to continue about monitoring. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel.